Good morning, all. Okay, let's start a new lesson, motion and time. Do you know what is motion? How can you say whether the object is moving or at rest? Objects which are moving around us are said to be in motion, whereas the objects which are not moving are said to be at rest. That is, we can say that motion is the change in position of an object with the time. Okay, motion is the change in position of an object with the time. There are different types of motions. I think you have learned the type of motion, different types of motion in class 6th. Do you remember? There are three types of motion. First one is straight line motion. That is, the motion along a straight line is called straight line motion or rectilinear motion. Okay, another name is linear motion. Okay, motion along a straight line is called rectilinear or linear motion. Examples: motion of a car on a straight road. Motion of a car on a straight road is an example for straight line motion. Can you guess another examples? March past of soldiers in a parade or the falling of a stone are other examples for straight line motion. Second type of motion is circular motion. This is a motion where objects move along a circular path. Okay, example is revolution of the earth. Do you know what is revolution of the earth? It means that rotation of the earth around the sun is called revolution. Okay, earth rotate around the sun, that is called revolution. There is a type of circular motion where object spins on its own axis, that is called rotational motion. For example, rolling ball, spinning top, etc. are example for rotational motion. Rotational motion is a type of circular motion. Another examples are the hands of a clock or the blades of a fan are other examples for circular motion. Okay, as we discussed, it is a revolution of the earth. This motion of the earth around the sun is called revolution. This revolution is an example for circular motion. As you can see from this picture, the earth is revolving around the sun. Okay, that is a circular path of motion. Motion along a circular path. So it is called circular motion. Third type of motion is periodic motion. You know that in some cases the object repeats its motion after some time. This motion is called periodic motion. Okay, that is, it is a type of motion where the object repeats its motion after a regular interval of time. That is called periodic motion. For example, motion of a pendulum, a branch of a tree moving to and fro. Motion of a child on a swing, strings of a guitar or the surface of drums being played are some examples of periodic motion. Here the object or a part of it repeats its motion after a fixed interval of time. Okay, so three types of motions are there: straight line, circular and periodic motion. Now let's discuss about slow or fast. We know that some vehicles move faster than others. Even the same vehicle may move faster or slower at different times. How did you decide which object is moving slow and which one is moving fast? If vehicles are moving on a road in the same direction, we can say easily which one of them is moving faster than the other. The distance moved by objects in a given interval of time can help us to decide which one is faster or slower. Objects can be said to be slower or faster. How? If they move in the same direction. If they are moving in the same direction, we can easily say that which one is moving fast or which one is moving slow. Fast covers high distance in a particular time and slow covers less distance in the same time. Okay? As you know, the fast covers high distance in a particular time, but the slow covers less distance in that same time. In 100-meter race, it is easy to decide whose speed is the highest. That is, one who takes shortest time to cover the distance of 100 meters has the highest speed. So we often say that the faster vehicle has higher speed. Okay. Now let's learn about uniform motion. In everyday life, we find that some objects moving with a constant speed over long distance or for long durations of time. That objects moving along a straight line with a constant speed is said to be uniform motion. That is, if the speed of an object is constant throughout, it is called uniform motion. Okay, if the speed of an object is constant, that is called as uniform motion. Examples are motion of blades of a fan moving with the same speed, rotation and revolution of the earth. Rotation, what is rotation? You have learned that rotation means the objects move along its own axis. Okay, earth possesses two types of motion, rotation and revolution. Rotation means rotation of the earth along its own axis, like a spinning top. Like a spinning top, earth rotates along its own axis. That is called rotation of the earth. Earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Then revolution. Revolution means the rotation of the earth around the sun. The circular motion of the earth around the sun is called revolution. Earth takes 365 days to complete one revolution. Okay, to complete one revolution, earth takes 365 days. So rotation and revolution of the earth are example for uniform motion. That is, the speed of that earth is constant. Okay, it is uniform motion. Now, non-uniform motion. If the speed of an object moving along a straight line keeps changing, its motion is said to be non-uniform. Okay, if the speed of an object keeps changing, it is called as non-uniform motion. For example, motion of a car on a crowded road. You know that it is not possible to move the car on a crowded road with constant speed. Isn't it? Similarly, the motion of a train. Then a person jogging in the park. These are examples for non-uniform motion. We can determine the speed of a given object if you know the time taken by it to cover a certain distance. In class 6, we have learned how to measure distances. But how do we measure time? If you did not have a clock, how would you decide what time of the day it is? Or how do we measure time interval of a month, a year? Do you know one thing? Our ancestors noticed that many events in nature repeat themselves after definite interval of time. For example, they found that the sun rises every day in the morning. The time between one sunrise and the next sunrise was called a day. Okay, our ancestors noticed that the time between one sunrise and the next sunrise was called as a day. Similarly, a month was measured from one new moon to the next new moon. A year was fixed as the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun. We already discussed about the revolution of the earth. Okay, earth takes 365 days to complete one revolution. That time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun is taken as 1 year. Clocks or watches. We use clock and watches for measuring time. The watches we used today make use of periodic motion. You have learned that periodic motion is the motion that repeat after a regular interval of time. Okay, so all clocks and watches make use of periodic motion. That is, that repeat its motion after a fixed time. Okay, one of the most well-known periodic motion is that of a simple pendulum. But many time measuring devices were used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks became popular. For example, sundials, water clocks and sand clocks are used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks became popular. Now we have watches and clocks to measure the time. Okay, these clocks and watches make use of periodic motion. One of the most important periodic motion is that of a simple pendulum. Now let's learn about simple pendulum. A simple pendulum consists of a small metallic ball or a piece of stone suspended from a rigid stand by a thread. This metallic ball is called the bob of the pendulum. Okay, the metallic ball is called the bob of pendulum. When the bob of the pendulum is released after taking it slightly to one side, it begins to move to and fro. This to and fro motion of a simple pendulum is called periodic motion or oscillatory motion. The to and fro motion of a simple pendulum is an example of periodic or an oscillatory motion. The pendulum is said to have completed one oscillation when its bob starting from its mean position O. You can see in the picture O is the mean position. When the bob start to oscillate from its mean position O, then moves to A, then to B and back to O. Okay, from position O to A, then to B, then back to O. If the pendulum covers this distance, we can say that pendulum completed one oscillation. Okay. Or in another way, we can say that the pendulum completes one oscillation when its bob moves from one extreme position A to the other extreme position B and comes back to A. Okay, from the position A to B, then back to A. Okay, if the bob of the pendulum covers this distance, A to B, then B to A. We can say that it covers or it complete one oscillation. Pendulum completed one oscillation. So the time required or time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is called its time period. Okay, the time taken by the pendulum to move from one extreme position to the other extreme position and back to its initial state, that is called as its time period. Now let's discuss about units of time and speed. The basic unit of time is second. Its symbol is S. Larger units of time are minutes and hours. You already know that these units are related to one another. That is, 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds or 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Not only that, you have learned the unit of distance. The basic unit of distance is meter. Larger unit is kilometer. You have learned the definition of speed, that is equal to distance divided by time. What is the unit of distance? It is meter. What is the unit of time? It is second. So the unit of speed is equal to meter per second. It could also be expressed in meter per minute or most commonly kilometer per hour. Okay, the unit of speed is equal to unit of distance divided by unit of time. As you know, the unit of distance is equal to meter, unit of time is equal to second. So, the unit of speed is equal to meter per second or kilometer per hour. Okay, today this much is enough. Let's continue next week. Okay, thank you.